Imagine a planet where the mountains aren't made of rock, but of diamond. Where the ground beneath your feet isn't dirt or metal, but pure, compressed, crystallized carbon. Harder than anything on Earth. This is a carbon planet, and it's worth more than the entire global economy. Here on Earth, our world is built from silicates. Silicon, oxygen, iron, magnesium. We are a world of rock, metal, and water. Carbon is actually quite rare in Earth's crust, making up less than 0.02%. We live on a silicon world, but not all planets form the same way. In some parts of the galaxy, carbon is abundant, even more common than oxygen. And when planets form in these carbon-rich regions, they become something else entirely. They become carbon planets, worlds where carbon is a dominant building block. Instead of having silicon dioxide, which makes up quartz and sand, they have silicon carbide. Instead of oceans of water, they might have rivers of tar. And deep within their mantles, diamond, layers upon layers of it, stretching 4 miles. The most famous carbon planet we've discovered so far is 55 Cancri. It's a super-Earth, orbiting a sun-like star about 40 light-years away. It's twice the size of our own planet, and 8 times as massive. For years, scientists thought it might be a water world, covered in a global ocean. But as they looked closer, the observations told a different story. Its density was far too high for it to be a water world, and its chemical composition was just strange. Current models suggest that up to 1/3 of its entire mass could be pure carbon, in the form of diamond. Just think about that for a second. 1/3 of a planet twice the size of Earth, made of solid diamond. If we could somehow mine it, the value would be astronomical. It's been estimated at $26.9 million. That's a 26 followed by 30 zeros. It would be enough money to make every single person on Earth a trillionaire. But we will never mine it. We will never touch it. Because 55 Cancri, in their vision of hell, it orbits incredibly close to its star. A full year on this planet lasts only 18 hours. The surface temperature reaches a scorching 2,400 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt rock, to melt most metals. The planet is also tidally locked, meaning one side perpetually faces its star, baking under the relentless, blistering heat. The other side, the night side, is cooler, but it's still completely uninhabitable. The surface of this world is likely covered in molten graphite. Imagine oceans of liquid carbon, flowing like lava, black, dense, and unimaginably toxic. And what lies beneath that molten surface? The mantle. A layer of diamond, kilometers thick, crushed under immense pressure and searing heat. It's not quite molten, just compressed into a solid, crystalline form, extending deep down toward the planet's core. So, what would it be like to stand on a carbon planet? Assuming you could somehow survive the extreme heat and pressure, the ground would be black and slippery, like the graphite in a pencil, but much harder. And if you started to dig, you wouldn't find soil or rock, you would hit diamond. Not the beautiful, gem-quality diamonds we see in jewelry, but industrial-grade diamond. Compressed carbon in its crystalline state. But it's diamond, nonetheless. The sky would be just as alien. Carbon planets might have atmospheres thick with carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. Heavy, toxic clouds would block most of the light from the star, creating a dim, hazy world, even on the side facing the sun. And if it were to rain, it wouldn't be water. It would probably be tar, hydrocarbons condensing in the upper atmosphere, falling as thick, oily drops, coating everything in a black, sticky sludge. Life as we know it could never exist here. Carbon-based life, like us, needs liquid water. It needs moderate temperatures. It needs a stable and predictable chemistry. A carbon planet has none of that. But could there be some other kind of life? Exotic life? Could there be organisms based on silicon carbide instead of water? Creatures that thrive in molten graphite? We simply don't know. But if life does exist on carbon planets, it would be utterly unrecognizable to us, something from our wildest science fiction nightmares. Carbon planets aren't just cosmic curiosities, though. They teach us something fundamental about how planets are born. The ratio of carbon to oxygen in a star system's primordial dust cloud determines what kind of planets will form. In our solar system, oxygen is more abundant than carbon, so we got silicate planets. Rocky worlds like Earth, Mars, and Venus. But in systems where carbon is the more common element, you get carbon planets. Diamond worlds, graphite giants, places with exotic chemistries we can barely even imagine. And here's a fascinating twist. Some scientists now theorize that Earth itself might have started out as a carbon planet billions of years ago when it first formed. Over eons, complex chemical reactions and the presence of vast amounts of water could have transformed its composition, turning it from a carbon world into the silicate world we know today. If that's true, then deep inside our own planet, there might still be remnants of that ancient past. Layers of diamond, hidden deep beneath the mantle, unreachable. But there, the existence of carbon planets also raises a deep philosophical question. We spend so much time searching for habitable worlds, for planets like Earth, worlds with water, oxygen, and moderate temperatures. But what if we are the exception? What if most rocky planets in the universe are actually carbon planets? Too hot, too toxic, too utterly alien for life like ours. What if habitable worlds are rare, not because of their distance from a star, but because of their fundamental chemistry? Because the building blocks were just wrong from the very beginning. 55 Cancri will never be habitable. It will never cool down. It will never develop an atmosphere that we could breathe. It is a treasure beyond all measure, and at the same time, it is a tomb. A planet worth more than we can possibly imagine, and yet completely, utterly useless to us. Carbon planets remind us that value is relative. Here on Earth, diamond is rare, precious, a symbol of wealth and status. But on 55 Cancri, diamond is just dirt. It's the ground, it's the rock. It's everywhere, and no one will ever hold it. Thank you for exploring this cosmic treasury with us. Until next time, keep looking up.